Central Illinois News Channel, WEEK.
Cat and the UAW agree to disagree.
Live at 5 with Mike Demick, Dana Kozlov, and Lee Ranson's weather. From News 25, this is Live at 5.
Good evening. After 4 days of hushed negotiations in Louisville, Kentucky, apparently Caterpillar and the UAW have accomplished very, very little. Federal mediators have released both parties indefinitely. There is a chance they may still meet again to discuss non-economic issues. News 25's Dana Kozlov has been following the talks in Louisville, Kentucky, and she joins us live. Dana, did the union ever offer a contract proposal?
Well, Mike, yeah, the answer to that question is yes. The union put a comprehensive proposal on the table, but Caterpillar officials say it was an exact duplicate of the union's 1991 pattern proposal, and the company says that wasn't acceptable then, and it isn't acceptable now, and there will not be a counterproposal from the company at this time. So that means after 3 years of uncertainty and word games, thousands of people remain on the line tonight without the possibility of a signed contract anytime in the near future. Caterpillar officials say they feel a bit misled. Vice President Wayne Zimmerman says he fully expected a new forward-looking proposal from the union after his meeting with UAW International Secretary Treasurer Bill Cass-Stevens 2 weeks ago in Louisville. So the company says unless the union comes forward, and we've heard this before, with a new forward-looking comprehensive proposal, the economic talks are over. However, the union says they want to sit down with the company and talk about non-economic issues, and the company says they're willing to do that. So the FMCS will get both sides together, they say, at an early date to sit down and get those talks going, but we don't know when that will be or where that will take place at this time. And again, after more than 3 years and 4 days of talks here in Louisville, Caterpillar and the United Auto Workers are without a signed contract, are without any contract, and talks are finished for now. Back to you.
Dana, we'll get more from you at 6 and 10. That's News 25's Dana Kozlov live in Louisville tonight. President Clinton's proposal for an increase in the minimum wage is already getting a cold shoulder from the Republican-controlled Congress tonight. The president wants a 90-cent an hour increase spread over 2 years. The president says the increase will help more Americans earn a living.
With only a high school. The minimum wage will be at a 40-year low next year if we do not raise it above $4.25 an hour. If we're serious, let me say this too, emphatically, if we are serious about welfare reform, then we have a clear obligation to make work attractive and to reward people who are willing to work hard.
House Speaker Newt Gingrich says the House will give the proposal full consideration, but he says he's skeptical it will pass. House Republicans are finding that welfare reform is easier said than done. They've just wrapped up 2 weeks of hearings on that issue. Just 10 days ago, the hearing room erupted in chaos. Angry protesters demanding to be heard, and they shouted down the chairman and halted the proceedings. Today, welfare recipients testified on Capitol Hill.
I want them to know what the welfare cuts was going to mean to me and my son and a lot of other single mothers. I'm a working person, but right now I'm unemployed. I worked all my life.
When I've been laid off from jobs, if welfare had not been available when we needed it, my son and I would have been sleeping on the streets of America.
House Speaker Gingrich says his vision of reform is to give states more control over welfare. The White House tonight claims a new book about President Clinton and the intertwining of his personal and political life is a rehash of old issues. The book, called First in the Class, quotes Arkansas Chief of Staff Betsy Wright as saying Bill Clinton decided not to run for president in 1988 after they had together reviewed a list of women with whom he'd allegedly had affairs. Today, Betsy Wright changed her story. She said she was concerned about the impact of rumors on Hillary and Chelsea Clinton. The author, David Marinis, is standing by the quotes. The book is due out next month. O.J. Simpson's personal life was center stage at his murder trial today. Former neighbors of Nicole Brown Simpson testified that they often saw O.J. Simpson hanging around near the house at night. Catherine Bowe said sometimes when an angry Nicole would lock him out, Simpson would wind up coming to her house to talk.
She was angry at him for being angry at her.
Could you elaborate on that?
Well, after a while, she wouldn't argue anymore, and she just fumed on a stone wall, so I was stuck with O.J.
It is expected that an ex-boyfriend of Nicole Simpson will testify that an angry O.J. Simpson began stalking him. Oprah Winfrey says her father is one of the most honorable men she knows. But tonight, her father, 62-year-old Vernon Winfrey, is accused of exposing himself to a 28-year-old woman. He has not been formally charged. Vernon Winfrey administers 10 scholarships to Tennessee State University. His accuser says she was seeking educational aid. Still ahead on Live at 5 this evening, we saw some of the white stuff today. We'll have more on that. Also, you may want to take a weekend trip and tour one of the many factories here in the U.S. Lee, how about the weekend?
Well, as we told you last night, it looked like we were going to get around an inch of snow. If that's all we got. And I don't think we're going to get any more. But boy, is it going to get cold, I want to tell you. Here's a question for you to think about before I tell you how cold it's going to get. What are ice flowers? We'll answer that in a few, too. Change the look of your cabinets with Amarok hardware from Menards. Choose from over 220 styles of knobs, hinges, and pull handles. All Amarok cabinet hardware is 25% off our everyday low prices. Maximize your security with door locks and braces from Master Lock. This elegantly styled passage lock is just $7. The patio or entrance door brace is $22. You'll find super savings at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
You have no time to lose. Now at Rex's 3-day sale on name brand color TVs, microwave ovens, audio, video, and computer systems. You'll find this General Electric VHS camcorder, 8-to-1 power zoom 2 lux and 2-hour battery, $479. And this RCA cable-ready HQ VHS programmable VCR system with remote, $155. And Magnavox 19-inch color TV with sleep timer, remote, and on-screen displays, $179. During Rex's 3-day sale. Hurry before your time is gone.
I'm Sandy Newton for NBC Primetime Tonight. Friday starts with an all-new Unsolved Mysteries. Tonight, destructive electrokinetic powers transform a woman's life.
When I give off energy, I don't always know what effect I'm going to have on the objects that I touch.
Followed by Dateline NBC with Jane Pauley and Stone Phillips. Then catch NBC's highly acclaimed police drama, an all-new Homicide. 3 detectives fight for their lives while an entire squad searches for answers and justice.
Well, if it's taking a turn for the worse, they'll let us know. You mean if they died?
Don't miss an all-new Unsolved Mysteries, Dateline NBC, and Homicide. Arresting television on NBC Primetime Tonight. Plus, coming Monday, don't miss an extraordinary television event from executive producer Barbra Streisand and award-winning actress Glenn Close.
You could commit murder and have a better chance of staying in.
I could win. Serving in Silence, Monday on NBC.
In a way, this was the perfect end of the week. We had such a great week, and the snow was really pretty harmless and pretty.
It looked very nice coming down this morning. We had officially 1.2 inches in Peoria, about an inch in Bloomington normal. But the folks on to the east of us, a whole different story.
They're getting the real
They're
winter.
really going to get hit. They're calling for up to a foot in Pittsburgh tonight and tomorrow. Lots of fun for them. But for us, it wasn't a bad day at all. In fact, our high temperature was 36, and that kind of helped melt some of that snow as it came down. Didn't really stick around too much, did it? 30 our low, giving us a mean of 33. Normal's 23, so we are 10 degrees warmer than it should be this time of the year. So maybe the groundhog wasn't exactly right, but about early spring, but he's certainly not totally wrong, at least for us. But boy, Punxsutawney Phil is going to be like kicked out of town. They're calling for a foot of snow there after he predicted an early spring. Here's this whole area. There's still a little area, a few snow showers up to the north of us that'll kind of brush over the area tonight. But here's the main push of the precipitation. There just was not enough moisture in the air to get any kind of snowfall amounts for us. I know you may have heard somebody calling up to 4 inches of snow, but there was no way it was going to happen because the moisture was on to the east. You can get a few clouds, you can get the cold air coming down, but if you don't have the moisture, you're not going to have the snow. And the snow has now moved all on to the east of us, and it'll continue snowing as it moves on to New England. But temperatures are really going to start to plummet. Teens all the way down to our area for highs tomorrow. Zeros in parts of the country, but still the Chinook winds are keeping things fairly warm out in the plain states. They're calling for highs in the 50s and 60s out there again tomorrow. So They think it's springtime, I guess, don't they? But for tonight, we're calling for cloudy skies, a few snow flurries, but much colder. Low 15, northwest winds 20 to 30 miles an hour. And then during the day tomorrow, partly sunny, but a high only 15 with 20 to 30 mile an hour winds. We're talking about wind chills below zero almost all day tomorrow. So boy, is it going to feel like wintertime. And what are ice flowers? They're ice crystals forming on calm, slow freezing waters. If you ever have a chance to sit out there and watch them, they just kind of look like little crystallized flowers on top of ice. Very pretty.
Punxsutawney Phil's now a goat.
Man, that guy's going to be gone.
Well, we got a quiz for you. You ever wonder where Coca-Cola came from? Or maybe where teddy bears came from? Well, many of the U.S. factories making those products are open for public tours. And Paul Ryan tonight introduces us to a woman who's toured them all and written a guidebook.
Good morning, y'all. Come on through. The kids.
Come on through and watch how Cabbage Patch dolls are born, how beer is brewed and bottled, how chocolate goes from bean to bar, how Kentucky Fried Chicken got its start, and how the Chicago Tribune gets printed. These are just a handful of hundreds of factory tours all across America. You'll find them in every state, and many hand out free samples.
For some, however, a factory tour is more than just a few free samples. It's a source of pride. A chance to sort of kick the tires of the American economy and perhaps feel good about that Made in America label.
A lot of the tours are really icons of America, from Coca-Cola to Levi Strauss to John Deere, and that's one of the reasons why we did the book, so people would really go out and see for themselves that we make a lot of things here and we make them well.
Karen Axelrod co-authored Watch It Made in the USA, a guide to some 280 factory tours. We met her at the tour found on page 8, the Basic Brown Bear, a teddy bear factory in San Francisco.
So how many of you kids have teddy bears at home?
Like most of the tours in the book, this one's free. These third graders saw how teddy bears were cut, sewn, and stuffed.
I thought it was fun to see how teddy bears were made. I had no idea where teddy bears came from.
Kids love to go on these tours. I mean, there's such a sense of curiosity. People just really want to know, how are things made? Like, wow, look at that. That is cool.
The book, Watch It Made in the USA, is at most bookstores, or for a listing of factory tours, call the Division of Tourism or the Chamber of Commerce for the state or city you'll be visiting. Reporting on factory tours, I'm Paul Ryan.
Well, there's tonight a chance for the world to come to your house. Our guest, Tanya Sprague, joins us to discuss Youth for Understanding. It's a group that promotes foreign exchange. And Tanya, what kind of commitment are you looking for from a family that might be interested?
I just want a family that is loving, wants to share their home, their life, their just their home with another student, and to learn about their culture and to help them learn about what life in America is all about.
And you're not just talking, you have a foreign exchange student staying with you. As a matter of fact, you have her right on your sweater there. Tell us about her.
Her name's Humi Yasuda. She's from Fukuoka, Japan, and she came to live with us in July, and she'll be leaving end of June. It's a wonderful experience. We had a daughter from Chile last year, and that's how we all got involved with this, my husband and I, and we're representatives this year, and feel that YFU helps promote world understanding and peace. You have to start when people are young.
Okay, very quick. If people are interested, should they call you? Should they call a number?
There's a 1-800 number. It's 1-800-872-0200, and they'll get connected up with the right people, and if they're interested in hosting a student or going abroad themselves.
All right, Tanya Sprague, we appreciate you coming in tonight.
Thank you.
Well, still ahead on Live at 5, our medical journal is next. We'll see why a change of scenery can help you breathe easier. And Tom McIntyre concluding his series tonight with some tips for losing weight pound for pound.
Just what do we mean when we say steak burger?
These are our 100% recyclable containers.
At Steak and Shake, we're open from sunrise to sunrise.
Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers.
Bean crock.
Tom Collins presents the Campbell Soups 1995 tour of World Figure Skating Champions. See the world's best. Oksana Bayul, Brian Boitano, Nancy Kerrigan, Victor Petrenko, Elvis Stoico, Surya Bonalil, Philippe Candeloro, and more. Don't miss the Campbell Soups 1995 tour of World Figure Skating Champions.
At the Peoria Civic Center Thursday, June 1st. Tickets now on sale at the Civic Center box office, all Ticketmaster locations, or charged by phone.
Live at 5 is simulcast on Talk 102.
You have no time to lose. Now at Rex's 3-day sale on name brand color TVs, microwave ovens, audio, video, and computer systems. You'll find this General Electric VHS camcorder, 8-to-1 power zoom 2 lux and 2-hour battery, $479. And this RCA cable ready HQ VHS programmable VCR system with remote, $155. And Magnavox 19-inch color TV with sleep timer, remote, and on-screen displays, $179. During Rex's 3-day sale. Hurry before your time is gone.
Presenting Goods Furniture in Kewanee, Illinois.
Goods is a whole lot more than a furniture store. It's an adventure. Goods is an experience you'll never forget. It's wonderful. You'll be so surprised when you come to Goods at how great it is. We have hundreds and hundreds of room settings. A German restaurant, a Skywalk Cafe, a bed and breakfast where you can spend the night. It's really worth the drive.
What are you going to do all winter long? Beat the winter boredom blues at Carpet Weaver's Cabin Fever Carpet Blowout. No money down, free installation, no interest for 2 years. Get big savings on Carpet Weaver's huge selection of Mohawk brand excellence carpets featuring Anso Crush Resistor AVF nylon. Fashionable fibers underfoot. Get a new look for your home and pay no interest for 2 years.
Let my friends at Carpet Weavers lay it on the line for you. Carpet Weavers, Bloomington and Peoria.
Tonight on his weight loss series, Pound for Pound, Tom McIntyre has some tips for people looking at a weight loss program. One of the most important things a dieter needs to know is how much they really eat. According to Marilyn Pretty, head of the St. Francis Weight Loss Program, that'll entail some record keeping most of us don't do.
You have to know, understand how to read the food labels, and then I think tracking and keeping records of exactly how you're doing on a daily basis really does help for weight loss.
If you keep records, you can't fudge. You know exactly what you've got.
Right, right.
Tonight on Nightside, the conclusion of Mac's series, more on keeping records and reading labels. Patients with severe lung problems often use oxygen to relieve symptoms. Now researchers say moving could provide the same relief. Dr. Dina Dell has more.
Every time you take off or land in an airplane, you get a physics lesson on what air pressure can do to the human body. With any luck, as the altitude changes, your ears will pop, equalizing the pressure. Well, now, surprising new research says altitude changes may have a significant impact on chronic lung diseases, like emphysema. You know, if you go high in the mountains, there's less pressure, so the air becomes thinner. So it's not surprising that people with lung diseases have breathing problems at high altitudes. But what about the opposite? Well, Israeli researchers took patients with lung diseases who lived in Jerusalem and took them down to the Dead Sea, which is below sea level. The difference? 4,000 feet. It would be like moving from Flagstaff to, say, Phoenix. Researchers found the altitude change made a significant difference. The increase in oxygen and air pressure at the lower altitude improved the amount of oxygen in the blood, much like long-term oxygen therapy does. Patients were able to exercise better and sleep better, too. The bottom line, at lower altitude, the quality of life improved overall. So if you have breathing problems and live above sea level, you might take all of this into consideration. I'm Dr. Dean Adele.
Sports is next with Mark Strauss, and he says the Cubs are looking for a permanent replacement player in center field. And a moment of silence. The loudest building in sports has started coming down.
Hardee's presents this month's 99-cent sandwich of the month, the mouth-watering hot ham and cheese. Why? Because most people aren't wealthy athletes with a big sneaker contract. And because when delicious ham is piled high and topped with melted cheese on a bakery bun, well, it just tastes great. Plus, you can't get anything like Hardee's hot ham and cheese sandwich at McDonald's or Burger King. Hardee's hot ham and cheese for 99 cents, the sandwich of the month. Big taste, little money, and that's what people want.
Tonight on News 25 Nightside.
Hi,
5 pounds.
7 pounds.
10 pounds.
15 pounds. Just like me, they all picked up unwanted pounds during the holidays. But I'll be doing something about it. Will I succeed? Well, you'll be the first to know in my special report.
Pound for Pound, tonight on News 25 Nightside, from Central Illinois News Channel.
And if I can do it, so can you.
News 25's closed captioning is a community service of Health Alliance Medical System. The doctors you prefer, a medical health care plan you can afford.
S&K Chevrolet Geo announces a revolutionary idea. It's simply the best price, period. Not to be confused with one price, because one price is not the best price. You see, S&K sells more cars than any other dealer around, so they can sell each and every vehicle for less, and isn't that just the best? Better than one price, better than a good price. It's the best price, period. And it's only at S&K Chevrolet Geo, because you simply can't get any better than the best.
Not all limousine services are alike. We offer vintage vehicles for your special occasions also. Deluxe Limousine Service, Peoria.
Office Max, taking it to the max.
You'll find the best name brands at Office Max. Over 6,000 business products, drastically discounted every day.
Taking it to the max.
Helix has all your school needs, including French curves, triangles, rulers, and more. And Quick and 4 by Intuit organizes your finances painlessly. It's easy to use, great for small business.
Office Max, taking it to the max.
You can't rush things out here. You just wait till the quality's exactly right. But then you move fast. And Jewel's now moving faster to make sure everything's fresher. This week at Jewel's 10-cent sale, we're rushing in values like California navel oranges, yellow onions, baking potatoes, fresh chicken drumstick portions, and more, all for only 10 cents each at Jewel's 10-cent sale.
There's a fresh new feeling at Jewel.
God knows, while climbing stairs for what seemed like a half an hour at the stadium, I have done my share of swearing at it, but it's still sad to see Chicago Stadium come
Well,
down.
you know, I guess for me, I like the old building, so it didn't matter to me if I had to climb up the stairs. It's kind of a sad day. It used to be Michael Jordan or Bobby Hull brought the house down. Today, it was a wrecking ball instead as they started demolishing Chicago Stadium. Blackhawks owner Bill Wirtz was there. His dad owned the place before he did, so it's sort of a family heirloom. And it was tough for him to watch 65 years of memories get smashed.
Relatives had to pass on and all that. The day it happens is terrible. But my sons and I came over just to pay, you know, the last tribute. You know, had we stayed away, it's your chicken. You know, it has to be, and it's over now.
But Bill wasn't entirely sentimental. When asked his earliest recollections of the stadium, he said he was 4. His dad brought him to the box office, and he remembers all that money. Meanwhile, ISU saw the roof cave in on them last night. Kevin Stallings back from being sent to his room for one game, and Southwest Missouri State's Johnny Murdoch with lots of room between him and the basket. He had 23 points, and the Birds' Marcus Franklin had a game-high 24. Deposits the lob, game tied at 37 at the half in Springfield. Second half, and Maurice Trotter connects for 3, giving the Birds a 57-55 lead. But it doesn't hold up. Monty Marsh, who spends more time on the bench than the varnish, tips one in for a 5-point Bears lead, and Stallings says, I came back for this. 74-66. Next stop for ISU is Wichita tomorrow. Bulls at Sacramento last night, although Phil Jackson's stay was considerably shorter. Look at the guy behind him. If you get really good seats in Sacramento, you get to officiate. Phil was kicked out in the fourth quarter and probably wanted to leave because the Bulls scored just 24 points in the half. Brian Grant with the neat layup, and then Scotty starts this drive on the freeway. Pippen a game-high 22, nearly matching his team's second half total. The Bulls lose an embarrassing 88-68 decision. Now to the NFL, and if you can't beat them, hire them. Today, Ray Rhodes was introduced as the new head coach of the Eagles. He's the second 49er assistant in 3 days to become a head coach somewhere else.
I'm here to produce. I'm here to bring a championship to Philadelphia. That's why I'm here. I didn't come here to be 500. I didn't come here to try to make the playoffs. I came here to win a championship. I've been around winning championships. I've been around situations where this The only thing that matters is winning. At all costs, we want to win. It was expected, and I want to bring that same attitude to Philadelphia, where it's expected to win.
Rhodes was the Niners' defensive coordinator, and today they filled his shoes by hiring former Jets coach Pete Carroll. Speaking of championships, then there are the Cubs. But new general manager Ed Lynch is working on that. Lynch confirms he's talked to the agent for Royals free agent center fielder Brian McRae, but says he hasn't extended an offer because of the Players Association signing freeze. A Kansas City newspaper, however, reports that the Cubs have offered McRae $9 million for 3 years. In hockey, the Rivermen are idle following a 5-3 victory over Atlanta last night, and they get some unexpected good news today. Goalie Josh Sargent's been reassigned to Peoria by the Blues. Sarge started for the Blues at Winnipeg last night, but Mike Keenan yanked him 8:52 into the first period with the Jets leading 2-0. The Blues went on to win the game 5-4 in overtime. And finally, at the next practice of the Quebec Nordiques, how to properly close the door to the bench. The Nord's Bob Basson will no doubt appreciate this if he regains consciousness. Nice job by whoever the person was who was sitting. And that was his bench, by the way. You know, you expect that maybe on the other bench.
Or maybe the penalty box that you get into in a hurry. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
A Murfreesboro school district must pay thousands of dollars to send a developmentally disabled girl to a private school in Wisconsin. The courts ruled a 12-year-old wasn't getting an appropriate education at the Southern Illinois school. We asked you how responsible a school district should be for educating a student, and you overwhelmingly say yes.
I think it's very important that a special needs child get the services that the child needs. There are laws and mandates that protect our children so that they can get the special needs, as you're putting it, services that they need.
I think it's very important because the school districts are lacking in the responsibility to the special needs child. They are not providing services that they are supposed to by law, and if you don't know what your rights are, you don't get the services even though they're responsible for providing them.
State law mandates that special education children deserve an education, and that includes, if the school district does not have the facilities, sending them to a private school. This matter should not even be discussed. It's a state law.
I think a school should do everything reasonable to make sure that a student with special needs gets an education. This day of computers, there are many things that can be done to ease the problems that disabled children have.
I think that the school should be very obligated to send the child somewhere else because that child has as much of a right to get an education as a regular child.
And thanks for the calls. Yesterday we told you that Woodford County Judge Richard Boehner ruled that Susie Farrell broke her probation by becoming pregnant. The judge added the rule to her probation after she pled guilty to aggravated battery against her 2-year-old son. Now, her lawyer says the order is unconstitutional, but tonight on Talkback, we want to know if you think the law has a right to decide if a woman can become pregnant or not. Talkback now at 698-1810, your comments Monday.
This Saturday only, the price leader is wiring hundreds of remaining new 94s and executive demos with detonator deals. Blow hundreds, even thousands of dollars off a new or used car, truck, or van. And get free hot dogs, free gifts, and a chance to win free Alan Jackson tickets. Don't miss this big clearance blowout. This Saturday only.
Be the price leader, John Biff Auto Mall.
Next to the Glovage Bridge in East.
Get ready for WEEK TV's 6th annual Kids Nowadays Festival. This fantastic family event is Saturday, April 29th at the Peoria Civic Center and May 6th at Redbird Arena in Normal. A bigger-than-ever show is planned. Lots of fun, entertainment, rides, prizes, and freebies. A great day for the entire family. For information on becoming an exhibitor, call Joe McGuire at WEEK 698-3728 to find out how your business can be part of this huge event.
Yes, Mom. I know, he's not a doctor or a lawyer. Okay, entomologists don't make a lot of money. Married? I don't know. Craig wants to go to Peru to study water beetles. Mom, he's not a weirdo. He just marches to a different drummer.
Bring the Baron home
frozen pizza.
You know, Mom, you could be right about Craig.
Sherman's, your prices are the best. Your selection's great, but I want to buy leather furniture.
You should sell leather furniture.
Leather furniture is now available at Sherman's. We have done our homework. Palliser Leather offers a great selection of quality sectionals, sofas, love seats, and chairs in exciting styles and colors. Our commitment is to save you big money on these quality leather products. That's the way it is because that's the way you want it.
Here's another look at our headlines at 5. Cat and the UAW say no progress, talks are off, they're heading home. President Clinton has proposed a 90-cent increase in the minimum wage over 2 years, and welfare recipients testify during House Republican hearings. Coming up at 6, talks between the UAW and CAT are done for now. We will look to the future. Plus, we'll hear a man confess to Peoria police that he's a murderer. And we'll take a look at how nitric oxide gas is helping newborns. Mac has more from the newsroom on that. Mac?
Thank you very much, Mike. As you probably can tell, I haven't got a microphone on, as a matter of fact.
Sorry to cut you off, Mac. Maybe it was something with the nitric oxide gas. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, we'll have more on that story coming up at 6. If you want to talk back, you can do that at 698-1810. NBC Nightly News is next. Have a good weekend.